Association history, listed at 5 feet 3 inches tall. He was drafted 12th overall by the Washington Bullets in 1987.
Oh, wow, that's interesting.
I'm glad you asked.
You're listening to Sports in a Jiffy on our Impact Radio 102.1 FM Lagos.
Top of morning sports fans, top of morning listeners, and welcome to Sports in a Jiffy on your most exciting breakfast show, the Morning Impact Show, right here on Impact Radio 102.1 FM, your number one urban lifestyle station. Monday today, the 10th day in the month of March 2025. I'm right here looking to serve it to you fast, but of fact, making it compact for listening pleasure, tiptoeing into all of the major stories making the rounds this morning. I call it your early morning sport tonic, whether you're a sports person, someone who loves the thrill of the game, maybe an athlete yourself. This right here is the best place for you to be, because I've got loads of stories to share with you. We'll be unpacking them one after the other this morning, but don't forget we'll be back here later this evening between 6 p.m. down to 7 p.m. for more thoughts and also insight into all of the major stories this morning. Update from the world of sports across the globe. You know what to do. Keep it locked with me right here. Ayode Jajiboye is my name. Absolute honor to be your host on the show this morning. Flamingos yesterday definitely were winners over South Africa. Before that game, the South Africans were definitely looking to show the stuff they were made of. Of course, the Flamingos had other plans. Right now, the return leg of that fixture is going to be played in Ikene, right there in Ogun State. Also talk about the Nigerian Premier Football League. A couple of match-racing encounters went down this weekend. Remo Stars, by the way, the fourth along the line, dropping points against Rivers United. And just before that game, Coach Finidi George had already mentioned that, guys, you know what, might seem like this particular time around, if Remo Stars fourth, they'll be taking their chances with both hands, and definitely that is what they did. And yes, talking about my darling team, Kwara United, they were also home winners against Ahmed Musa's Kano Pillars, 2-0. That one ended at the George Ini Stadium, and also the Rashidi Yekini Membo of Ilorin. Also talk about the English Premier League, guys. Looks like the title race is now over. 15 points separating the first and the second. Yesterday, the manager of the Arsenal side was asked whether or not they are still in the title race, and guess what? He had to badge out of that place, noting very well that, guys, I don't want you to ask me this question. I was sharing with a friend earlier before that game that at this point in time, I do not really feel superb about this kind of fixtures. And of course, growing up, these were fixtures that you look forward to whenever the calendar for the year is coming out. But at this point in time, they don't move you that very much again. 1-1 draw between Manchester United and Arsenal, and yes, Manchester United fans were celebrating that draw. Roy Keane came out and said, guys, I'm shocked. This is the same Manchester United I used to know. They don't get cheered when they draw against Arsenal. They get booed. But this time around, they had to do that. A magnificent free kick by Bruno Fernandes, getting that one goal for United, and Declan Rice inspiring on both ends, defending with his life and getting that equalizer for Arsenal yesterday as well. Also talk about the Italian Serie A. Juventus losing woefully at home against Atalanta. Thiago Motta getting schooled at his own. We also talk about the world of basketball. So you know, lot of stories for us to unpack together on this show this morning. I'm welcoming you to the show once again. Ayode Jajiboye is my name. Absolute honor to be your host on the show. Straight away, we'll go straight into thoughts coming through from the home front, because I always tell you that charity, they say, begins from home. And South African forward Ketlo Malabena has turned attention to the upcoming second leg clash this weekend. Malabena will netted South Africa's only goal in the first leg encounter at the Lucas Moripe Stadium in Pretoria. Despite the result, she's remaining confident that her team can bounce back, saying they believe in themselves and they are ready for the second leg of that encounter right there at the Remo Stars Sports Stadium in Ikene. Away from football talks, we talk about other sports where Paralympic bronze medalist Eniola Bolaji has now added another prestigious gold medal to her collection, winning the women's singles SL3 category at the 2025 Spanish Para Badminton International in Vitoria, extending her remarkable unbeaten run to 11 international tournaments. The multiple African champion convincingly defeated Ukraine's Oksana Koziba 2-0, that's 21-15 and 21-15 in the final yesterday, cementing her status as one of the world's dominant forces in the world of para badminton. Talking other sports on the show this morning, Gombe Bulls Basketball Club's coach Samson John has called for the early commencement of the preparations for Nigeria's national team, the Tigers, ahead of the 2025 FIBA Afrobasket Championship in Angola. Speaking after Nigeria secured qualification for the continental tournament, John stressed that the journey has just begun for the team that got the better of Uganda and Cape Verde and hosted Libya during the last qualification tournament. The coach emphasized that Nigeria needs to do better than their shaky performance at the 2021 edition and return to the sterling form they saw them emerge champions in 2015, adding that the only early planning by the Nigerian Basketball Federation will see the Tigers excel at the tournament. And before we go away from the home from this morning, quickly giving you a recap of all of the matches that went down in the Nigerian Premier Football League match day 29 encounters. Amazing fixtures went down over the weekend, where Katsina United were 1-0 winners over Shooting Star Sports Club of Ibadan. Rivers United defeated Niger Tornadoes 1-0. Bendel Insurance defeated Remo Stars 2-1. Lobby Stars lost at home against Ikorodu City. Ikorodu City are the first team making their debut in the NPFL and garnering up to 40 points in their first season. Amazing season the Lagos boys are currently having in the NPFL. Platinum United were also 1-0 winners over Abia Warriors. Kwara United defeated Kano Pillars 2-0. Eyimba FC of Aba defeated Ekanemi Warriors 1-0. Nasarawa United played at a 1-0 draw against Sunshine Stars, while Enugu Rangers played at a 1-0 draw against Akwa United, and Bayelsa United shared the spoils right there against Atland FC right there in Owerri. Quickly looking at the standings of the NPFL right now, Remo Stars are still sitting at top of the summit with 54 points from 28 matches, while Rivers United are second on the log with 46 points from 28 matches played already. Ikorodu City are third on the log, guys. I would have thought currently third on the log with 44 points, just 2 points behind the second place team. Like seriously, this is giving the Leicester City SK type of performance in the 2015-2016 season of the English Premier League. Rock bottom of the table, Lobby Stars are the solid miners right there. After playing 28 matches, they have 23 points. Akwa United are second from bottom with 28 points. Sunshine Stars of Akure are also second from bottom with 32 points. Same point to River and Nasarawa United also on 32 points. Anyway, from the NPFL right now, we'll go straight to Europe, bringing thoughts from the world of tennis. And we'll tell you what's going on in the Indian Wells right now. The preceding tournament to the next Grand Slam yesterday. Novak Djokovic lost again, making it the third one in succession. Yesterday suffered his third straight defeat at Dutch lucky loser Botic van der Sloot. Pulled off a shock victory in the second round at the Indian Wells. The 7th seed lost 6-2, 3-6, 6-1 to the world number 85 in the subdued performance. And since memorably beating Carlos Alcaraz in the Australian Open quarterfinals, the 37-year-old has now lost to Alexander Zverev in the semifinals in Melbourne, Matteo Berrettini in Doha, and now Van der Sloot, the 24th-time Grand Slam champion, won only one title last year, beat the elusive Olympic gold medal that he has always coveted. And of course, he failed to win a major for the first time since 2017. They call it a bad day in office, or maybe something deeper. But of course, we're looking forward to see the type of performance that is going to be springing up soon and very soon. Don't forget that the next Grand Slam is upon us already. Meanwhile, Spanish second seed Carlos Alcaraz also started his defense of the men's title with a routine 6-4, 6-2 win against French opponent Quentin Alice in the game yesterday. Well, that's not all. British women's number one, Katie Butler, was beaten 6-0, 7-5 by 7th seed Elena Rybakina in California. British men's number two, Cameron Norrie, also lost earlier yesterday 6-3, 7-5 to 10th seed Tommy Paul. Sonny Carter is the only remaining Briton in the women's draw, and Jack Draper, the last British male player, playing our first tournament since January Australian Open because of a foot injury. Butler received the first round bye as the 25th seed. Former Wimbledon champion Rybakina won the first 7 games in taking the first set in 26 minutes. But Butler regrouped in the second and broke Kazakhstan's Rybakina to claim a 4-3 lead before 7 for the first set at 5-4. Rybakina will now be facing Russian 9-seed Mira Andreeva, who beat Denmark's Clara Thorsen 6-3, 6-0 in the last 16. Defending champions Igor Swiatek, chasing their third title in the tournament, dominated Ukraine's Diana Yastremka 6-0, 6-2, while Poland's Sotek will play Karina Muchova, who was the 7-5, 6-1 winner against fellow Czech Republican Katarina Siniakova in the next game. Americans forces Jessica Pegula will beat China's Wang Xinyu 6-6-1 to set up a meeting with Ukraine's Elina Svitolina, who beat American Daniel Collins 6-2, 6-4. Away from tennis talks right now, straight into the world of basketball. And of course, I've got some amazing stories to share with you in the course of the show this morning. Sports in a Jiffy right here on 9 Power Radio 102.1 FM. Don't forget, I'll be back here later this evening between 6 p.m. down to 7 p.m. For more thoughts on the Sports Talk Show, where we get to share it with you, taking you through the nitty-gritty, of course, expert analysis on the show later this evening. In the course of the weekend, LeBron James slipped out of the Los Angeles Lakers 1-1-1 to 1-0-1 point defeat by the Boston Celtics with a groin injury. The 40-year-old left the court during a timeout in the fourth quarter after he contested a layup with Jaylen Brown. James scored 22 points, 14 rebounds, and 9 assists before his exit with 6 minutes and 44 seconds left to play. The NBA's all-time leading scorer missed 17 games with a groin problem in 2018, but said he did not have much concern about the setback. According to him, he's now past 50,000 career points. Earlier last week, Jason Tatum also backed 40.12 rebounds and 8 assists as the Celtics held off a late rally from the Lakers, spearheaded by Slovenian Luka Doncic, to secure their fourth straight win. Elsewhere yesterday, Stephen Curry also passed 25,000 NBA career points during the Golden State Warriors 115 to 110 point victory over the Detroit Pistons. Curry became the 26th player in the NBA history to reach the milestone when he claimed a three-pointer in the third quarter. The 36-year-old finished with 32 points, taking his total to 25,017, but said he had not been keeping track of his overall tally. Anyway, from that right now, straight into the world of football. Lot of stocks to share with you on the show. Bringing you a recap of all of the actions that went down this weekend. Let's start with the missed opportunity as the trophy pressure is now growing on Mikel Arteta. Don't forget that the game yesterday marked his 200th match in charge of Arsenal. And of course, an amazing one he's having, by the way, because this manager has managed 200 games. But of course, he's been able to win over 180. So yes, amazing feat by Mikel Arteta right there. But of course, the pressure of not winning the trophy is definitely on his back. Mikel Arteta's 200 Premier League game as Arsenal manager was not so much of a celebration. Caused the wait for another title challenge has now fall short by him. Arsenal nearly produced another performance in that 1-1 draw. Displayed that was so much of their season in microscope, leaving them needing binoculars to see Liverpool, who are now 15 points at top of the English Premier League table. The sight of the midfielder Mikel Merino laboring as an emergency striker to no effect emphasized how Arsenal had left that key position to defeat and also lost the game. Don't forget that earlier last week, Arsenal won 7-1 at PSG in the Champions League last 16 on Tuesday. This factors in their favor, but we're still not good enough. Well, it's been said that Mikel Arteta is currently having one of the best managerial careers you ever think of, because like I rightly mentioned, he's now won over 110 matches, 118 to be precise, being in the same group with likes of Sir Alex Ferguson, who won 122, Jurgen Klopp won 127, Jose Mourinho with 137, and Pep Guardiola with 146. Of course, a good measure for him. The only thing he has to show for his progress was the 2020 FA Cup success. Hopefully, something is going to happen this season, but then, you know, righty, nothing is happening anywhere. Away from that, let's talk about other matches this weekend. Did I just say this weekend? The past weekend, guys. before we go into other leagues across Europe yesterday, let's also talk about Cole Palmer's perfect penalty record, which came to an end when his spot kick was saved by goalkeeper Mad Emerson during the Chelsea's clash with Leicester City. The 22-year-old Chelsea head coach Enzo Maresca later said was unwell, saw his low effort well saved by the goalkeeper, who fell to his left to keep Palmer's strike after Jenny Sancho was fouled in the box. Chelsea eventually took out 3 points thanks to Marc Cucurella's Daisy cutter that arrowed into the bottom corner in the 60th minute of that game. And Palmer had the best penalty record in Premier League history before his effort was denied at Stamford Bridge, making it 12 out of 12 penalty. But then he's now sitting above the Premier League legends, the likes of Yaya Toure with 11 and Dimitar Berbatov, who had 9 out of 9 on the all-time list of penalty takers in the English Premier League. Away from that, right now straight into the Spanish La Liga, where Carlo Ancelotti is now defending Real Madrid's performance in their 2-1 La Liga win over Rayo Vallecano on Sunday, pointing to the struggles of a number of teams balancing Champions League football with domestic duties. Kylian Mbappe and Vinicius Jr. put Real Madrid 2-0 up in the first half at the Santiago Bernabeu before Pedro Diaz pulled a goal back for Rayo to ensure a nervous second half. Madrid disappointed after the break but took out 3 points to go level with Barcelona, while the game in hand at the top of the Spanish La Liga table. Madrid had been in a poor form of running La Liga with 1 win in 5 games going into the Rayo Vallecano match. However, the title also buoyed by Atletico Madrid also slipped to a 2-1 defeat at Getafe earlier on Sunday. Anyway, from that into the Italian Serie A, last night lowest Juventus rating in their game this season, because of course they suffered a humiliating defeat in Turin against Atalanta, seeing their fans leave the stadium more than 10 minutes before the final whistle. Juventus definitely got schooled yesterday. Coach Thiago Motta definitely did not do his assignment so well, and also not the way you think he would have done it. 4-0. The game ended. The Ladia Amarin destroyed Bianconeri in that particular game in the Italian Serie A from yesterday. We'll be back here later this evening for more talks on the Sports Hub show, where we get to review all of the other actions that went down in the world of football across the weekend. Don't forget that later this evening in the English Premier League, West Ham United will be hosting Newcastle United at about 9 p.m. Nigerian time at the London Stadium. And it just said that West Ham Luka Paqueta could return after missing the last 2 matches with an ankle injury. And in case you missed it, West Ham have failed to win any of the last 5 times they have hosted Newcastle United. They've drawn 2 and they've lost 3. But of course, the new manager in charge, that's talking about David Moyes, of course, doing something remarkable for West Ham right now. The reverse fixture of this season, West Ham won the game 2-0. But yes, we look forward to another Monday night fight between these two sides. They will be looking to win their first 3 consecutive league matches for the first time since December 2023. Another record on the line for West Ham United this evening. Right in the Spanish Liga, Espanyol will be hosting Girona. Italian Serie A, Lazio Roma will be hosting Udinese in that game later this evening, while in the Turkish Super League, Besiktas will be hosting Gaziantep FK. Sports in a Jiffy, and I'm 17 in a Jiffy. Here's I call it a wrap on the package. Many thanks to you for being a part of the show. Do have to keep it low with us right here on Empire Radio 102.1 FM, your number 1 all-brand lifestyle station. I did Jajiboye sign out this morning. I tell you to stay sporty, stay active, drink enough water to stay hydrated. Don't forget to go out there and be the best version of yourself. Be kind, because kindness is cool. I'll see you when I see you once again. Do have a blessed and highly favored week. Good morning.
From the greens of golf to the court of tennis and basketball, the octagon of UFC to the square